Chapter 2, Becoming Cyborg. Gazing into the abyss of the cosmos was almost like a meditation for Azriel. After a traumatic first day on the job, the silent, cold vacuum was soothing to his sight. Every so often, a rogue satellite or space junk would slam into the building, rocking the upper floors. The tech team installed lasers to shoot down the junk, but every now and then, a piece broke through their defenses. Azriel stared impassively out the window. There was no junk this evening. His slither of peace was interrupted by his communication device chiming in his ear. It was Security Command. "Go with your broadcast," he told the caller. "Supreme Commander, this is Acting Lieutenant Commander Higgs. I'm calling to update you on the incident regarding the terrorist," she said nervously on the other end of the phone. Her department had a major security breach, and the word was out that the first global citizen was not pleased. "Good evening, Commander. Please proceed with your report," he told her. "We have 9 enemy dead, 7 from the shootout, and 2 detonated suicide bombs when our security forces went to apprehend them. We have 1 live operative in custody by the name of Bradley Figglehorn. He's currently under interrogation. Our intel has determined the attack was organized by the CPLA," she pronounced Kipla, the Christian People's Liberation Army. "They have over 1 million operatives," she mentioned. "They're a religious extremist group that gained power in America in the 2020s. They even had a member in the White House, billionaire mercenary executive, Duke Peddington. A complete dossier will be prepared with your morning report, sir." "Thank you for the update and for stepping up and filling Commander Emerald's position," Azriel said. "It's an honor and a duty, sir. He cut her off. "Please inform me when the suspect is primed for execution. I would like to watch him die," Azriel said dispassionately. "Yes, of course. By what means may I ask?" the acting LT commander inquired. Azriel thought for a moment and considered the religious aspect of the terrorist group. "Crucify him, and do it live. I want to send a message to these fuckers," Azriel insisted. "As you wish, it shall be done," the LT commander confirmed. "Thanks," Azriel said, ending the call. The conveyor belt finally arrived at the elevator, and he proceeded down to the Research and Development Department. "Holy hell, what happened to you?" the beautiful woman in the white lab coat asked as Azriel entered her office. Her hair was fixed neatly in a bun. Her wire-framed glasses gave her a sexy, nerdy, professional look. "Nice to see you too, Sophia. You'll hear about it shortly on the press conference," Azriel said, rubbing his temples as he sat on her desk. "Or you could tell me now," she said, moving closer to him to examine his wounds. "Terrorist Sophia," he said, moving closer to her. "Christian terrorist," he growled as snatched the gold chain and cross from around her neck that seemed to dangle and taunt his near assassination. He threw it to the white-tiled floor, and it hit with a metallic cling. "Don't let me see that again. I may get the inkling you were involved in this," he said, wide-eyed with clenched teeth. "Azriel, you had a traumatic day, but you're being paranoid. I'm not even a Christian. That cross is a gift from my mother. It's solid gold," she insisted as she picked it off the floor. "You'll never see it again," she promised. "Now let me look at these wounds. You really ought to be in a hospital, not my tech lab." She shook her head. "I already know I'm losing the eye," Azriel said. "I want you to replace it with something that will give me more of a tactical advantage," he insisted. "Do you have anything that can shoot lasers?" he inquired jokingly but half serious. "Nothing that would fit on your head, but I do have something else you can field test," she affirmed. "This monocle will allow you to see crystal clear up to 2 miles. You'll be a world-class marksman overnight," Sophia promised. "I already am, but I'll take it," Azriel said. "Great. There's some light graph work, but I should be able to have that installed within the hour," she said confidently. "How are you enjoying the new position?" she inquired as she prepared the surgical bay. "Besides the hazardous duties, it's not so bad," he said as he synced his wrist computer to the giant monitor wall. The broadcast with Yasmin's press relief was airing soon. Azriel had sent some keynotes he wanted reflected in the briefing. A white mechanical arm was attached to the wall near the surgical bay. It would be assisting the doctor in the operation to sear fiber and optic nerves together. "Spare me the painkillers," Azriel insisted.
"Are you sure?" she asked, holding up a syringe with a local anesthetic. "I want to feel this," he confirmed. "The pain will fuel my rage," he insisted.
"Very well," she said with a half smile. "Sit tight. This will hurt a lot." The doctor promised powering on the robot. It beeped and moved its joints before warming up its surgical laser. "We have to remove the cauterized flesh to expose the optic nerve so we can graft the implant," she informed. "You may feel extreme pain and slight pressure," Sophia affirmed as the robot arm scraped and sucked out the burnt dead flesh. "Ow," Azriel growled as the robot cleaned the wound. "Told ya." Sophia smiled sadistically. "Sit tight, it will all be over soon," she assured. "Fine," Azriel said, gripping the side of the surgical bed, embracing the pain. Yasmin had changed clothes and was broadcasting from her private studio. "Citizens of the world, it pains me to speak to you on this historic day. The world capital was just attacked by a terrorist organization known as the Christian People's Liberation Army. They managed to hack our network, hijacked 3 of our security robots, and they sieged and held the auditorium where the FGC, myself, and the chief of security fought for our lives," she briefed the world. 9 out of the 10 perpetrators have been killed in action. We have the lone survivor in custody under strict interrogation. Our first global citizen and supreme commander, Azriel Augustus, was wounded in battle and has lost the use of his right eye. ELT Commander Shemika Emerald gave the ultimate sacrifice and died with valor defending our first global citizen, she said briefly, pausing in silence. The reports of CPLA are that their troop strength is over 1 million members. The First Global Order finds it difficult to believe that such a vast organization as CPLA can operate under the nose of the church. We encourage all Christians to give up all knowledge on the CPLA. They are now global public enemy number 1. She coldly told the world, anyone who harbors or supports them will be declared an enemy of the state. Yasmin warned, First Global Citizen Augustus will be addressing the world in the next 3 hours. Yasmin confirmed, stay vigilant, be kind. She forced herself to smile before ending the broadcast. I'm sorry to hear about Shemika, Sophia said, touching Azriel's arm. They will pay. He grunted as the robot scraped the dead necrotic flesh out of his eye socket. I know what you're thinking, but you can't kill them all. Not every Christian is a terrorist, Azriel, Sophia insisted. You're starting to sound like a sympathizer, Sophia, he said sternly. Must I have you investigated? He inquired, rubbing his thick beard in contemplation. You're beginning to sound like a mad dictator, she said sharply, showing she was offended. You know where my loyalties lie, Azriel, she said, smacking ointment around the newly implanted robotic eye. He winced and she smiled. We both witnessed religious genocide in the Middle East, ethnic cleansing and what have you. If you view your enemies through a wide scope, the entire world may fall into your sights, she said, using a sniper analogy. Religion has always been a motivator for people to kill other people and justify atrocities, Azriel countered. The Crusades, Inquisitions, the Salem witch trials, to the Sunni and Shiites killing one another while worshiping the same God, he said with disgust. I'm going to outlaw them all. If anyone has a problem, they can die and join their invisible gods, he said aggressively. They killed Shemika, I get it. You two were close, so you're going to become a tyrant now? Sophia asked. If I must. He shrugged. They'll remember you as a villainous autocrat. You'll be in history with Nero Caesar, Adolf Hitler, and Joseph Stalin. She protested. If I ever do decide to die, I won't care what history has to say about me. I created a legacy that can be seen from space. He bragged. Then think of your soul, Sophia suggested. God will never forgive you, she insisted. There are no gods, just the marvelous power of man. He scoffed. The people already believe I'm the Antichrist, and I don't care. He shrugged and digressed. This robot eye works like a charm. Gross. I can see bacteria. He marveled at the surface of a used coffee cup. Thanks for the upgrade, Doc. He spoke. Sophia sighed. What time should I expect you home this evening, darling? She asked, thinking. We live in space, it's always evening. TBD, he said, meaning to be determined. I have to crucify a terrorist. He kissed her on the cheek and left the lab towards the central security hub.